live.
Cool.
Oh, whoops, I thought I posted.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh shit, let me turn off my face.
Your middle name is Trouble, but I know it's Caroline. They say you remind them of problems, but I think you look like Audrey. Caroline, I know that you put on a show every time you two disagree. This heart is a soul, no one will ever break it. This heart is a soul. Close to you it breaks easily, 'cause everything that they say tells me to go away. But everything that I feel tells me to stay. They say they can't smell the drama, but I know it's number 5. You only bring heartache, but I know you have a bottle of wine. Caroline, I know that you put on a show every time you two disagree. This heart is a stone, no one will ever break it. This heart is a stone. Close to you it breaks easily, 'cause everything that they say tells me to go away. But everything that I feel tells me to stay.
What are the teams called?
It's a humanitarian campaign versus GMs of BM.
Do you know which teams the players are on and shit? Because I
Yeah.
do not. Good.
Alright, let's start it off. So, we'll be doing Ripsy's Team League Season 1, Week 4. It'll be Humanitarian Campaign to remove mines from Defghanistan versus GMs of BM. I need to change the title and then we can get started. So our first game will be Crux versus Frolic on Whirlwind. Now, both these teams are 1-2, so both have 2 losses, 1 win. So both of them are looking not to dig themselves a pretty big hole with another loss right now. they'd be 1-3, and that'd be pretty difficult for them to come back from. Huh.
It is just halfway into the season, though, so it's plenty of time for anything to happen. Although,
Yeah.
personally, if my own team does not win, I'll be stunned.
But I think we don't really know how the playoffs are going to work right now.
Well, at least 2 teams will be in them.
Yeah, but it's
Possibly
probably going to increase to 4. I think 2 is a little bit too few for 5 teams. But spawning for a humanitarian campaign to remove mines from Defghanistan, in the top left, it is Crux. And in the bottom left, for Team GMs of BM, it is Frolic. Yeah, because currently, the way Fire set it up was just the top 2 teams would play, and that would be your playoffs. Just basically one final match, but I don't know. That's kind of
Yeah.
sucks for a lot of the other teams.
There's a lot more teams than there were in Season 0, so
I think Season 0 there are 5 teams, so
be 5.
just the top 2 is fine.
It's a TVZ on Whirlwind. Pretty evenly balanced map, I would say, since it's in not cross positions.
Yeah, I mean, I like TVZ on this map. I think it's very interesting. There's lots of paths, lots of things to do. Like, the third isn't too difficult to take, but it can open up extra attack paths and such. Yeah. Though it is a very large map, so there's both a lot to creep up and to clean up after. It's just so long to get to your opponent's base.
I think drops aren't terribly strong on this map either. I mean, they are if your opponent is on a lot of bases, but if they're just on 3 or 4 bases, you can pretty well contain drops because it's not that much ground distance between the bases. And the drops take forever to get anywhere if they're trying to avoid Overlord detection. So nothing weird by either player yet.
Yeah, it looks like Crux wants to go for probably a reactor expand, whereas Frolic is getting his gas relatively quickly, so he'll have Zergling speed fairly quickly.
This is kind of like anti-Reaper play. Is this gas before pool in ZVT? And
Yeah.
Crux is not going Reapers, but it will still give him pretty solid map control until there are a lot of Hellions out, I guess.
Yeah, I guess Frolic, since he didn't drone scout, he did drone scout, but he didn't see his opponent. He doesn't know if there's any gas going down or Reaper play coming, so he wants that gas just to be safe in case there is Reaper play coming out of Crux. So Crux looks like he is going up to a factory, actually, so getting his expand and some reactored Hellions will come out pretty quickly.
And the drone does see the expansion, so he pretty much knows, well, somewhat what's up, but
And
it could be.
if he knows his timings, he'll know that this command center is a little bit late for a gasless expand. So he should suspect something, but...
Oh, he could lose this Overlord if he doesn't move it.
Yeah, well,
Move your Overlord.
he'll see the refinery
Oh.
and lose an Overlord.
He's building 2 more anyway, so he'll be fine, but it's kind of unnecessary. That's interesting. Tech Lab on the barracks. So it looks like Crux is going to go into bio play off of this. And a double Evo chamber by Frolic, but it's not at the wall. So these Hellions actually could be very annoying.
Yeah, correct me if
Wall
I'm wrong,
press.
but it's pretty hard to wall with your
Yeah, you can't
chambers
really- You can't really... I mean, you have to drop a quick creep tumor, which I sometimes do, but I think it's pretty good to drop a creep tumor before inject with the first queen of the natural. Then you can sort of get a wall up, but I usually forget to do it because I'm bad. And it looks like Frolic decided not to.
Yeah, you don't really need that first inject often because you'll just have more larvae than you can spend on it making drones, really.
This is interesting. There's a Roach Warren from Frolic, but there's just 4 Hellions, so it seems like an overreaction. Unless he's going to try some sort of attack.
Yeah, I mean, he does have a good amount of gas, so he might decide to make a bunch of roaches and just attack.
And he's making 4 Overlords, so it looks like he's definitely going to go for a big roach pressure. These Hellions are just going to be so annoying now.
Yeah, so these Hellions are coming in. They're not really doing that much damage. A good drone pull, and doesn't manage to catch it with the Hellions. In the meantime, 10 roaches are coming, and that's going to be pretty difficult for Crux to hold, I think.
Well, he does have a couple of Widow Mines. He's got a Marauder. He's got a bunker in a decent sort of backward position. So he may have to lift his natural, but I think he'll survive, definitely. And the +1 melee from Frolic, I don't really know about that. He's got the double melee upgrades, but he's basically going for just a pure roach attack.
Yeah.
And this is a really heavy investment, too.
I think you'd want to reinforce this with Lings if he's going for that +1/+1, but it doesn't look like that's what Frolic's planning. Just more roaches, I guess.
Well, maybe because of those Hellions, he had to revise his build order a little bit. So he's still floating some gas, which he probably would have been able to mine some more minerals if not for the Hellions.
Yeah, he's currently walking into 4 mines, so that'll do it.
No.
Ooh, kills half of his roaches immediately, and the half are almost dead.
So this is not a very threatening attack anymore.
Yeah.
And the Hellions sneak in. This is really bold by Crux, but he might just lose all the... Nope, roaches are running away.
His roaches are kind of just sitting on the Widow Mines waiting for them to recharge. Oh, now he's pushing in, but those Widow Mines are just absolutely cleaning up those roaches.
Widow Mines are pretty good.
They're a pretty good unit.
And so Frolic has not much in the way of economy at this point.
Oh, and he's
He's gonna-
walking up small groups of roaches.
Oh no. He's going to try to drone back up now, but he's so far behind. I mean, Crux has so much production. 4 barracks, reactor factory, reactor coming on the starport. He's got +1, so the upgrades, I guess, are in favor of Frolic, although he's not making any Lings, so not really.
Yeah, I'm like not sure where you go from here as Frolic. You've got Ling upgrades, but you're really not in a very comfortable position. You're even on workers and just starting to get your your layer.
Yeah, where I would go is I would transition into typing GG, but he's not going to surrender. He's not a weak-willed person like me, so...
So Frolic is going to take a third. Going to just try to macro up. Hope Crux doesn't push and kill him immediately. So then...
Yeah, he's got to take a risk in some way to catch up. He has to know he's pretty far behind at this point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess if I were him, if I weren't a quitter, I would probably just drone up like mad and hope he doesn't attack in the next 5 minutes.
Scan
And
goes
get,
down, does
ult
see
threads.
the layer, but doesn't see any layer tech because Frolic hasn't thrown any down. Looks like he just wants to stay on Ling Bling for a while. And I think that's good. He doesn't have the economy to really support any higher tech units. Just
That's
focus on getting drones up and hope you can defend with Ling Bling.
He might just die to this attack, though. He doesn't have a lot of spare supply. He just built 10 drones, which are not going to serve him very well. Neither are these 2 roaches. Supply blocked. Oh no. He's building 3 spines. That is natural.
Yeah, so
But
Crux
they're
is
not
going
going
to
to
see
be up
this
in
third.
time.
Crux might just decide to kill this third.
With 1 marine. He might just kill it with 1 marine, but he's going to send a few more.
And I don't really see Frolic really breaking out of this with all these mines and
Yeah,
bio.
definitely not. With just roaches. I mean, these roaches don't even have speed, so if he charges in, there's no way for him to get out. And he's gonna make some banelings. Ooh, man. He has no choice but to run into this minefield, really. Maybe the best option would be to collect all his overlords and suicide them in first. And then go for a final death push after defusing the mines. But
Yeah, he basically needs to get one really powerful push and just get the mines to detonate on something that isn't really important so he can clean up the bio, because...
well, the problem, I mean, he's making a bunch of banelings, but the problem with this is, I mean, 2 mines are just going to kill like 50 banelings.
Well, that's why
Don't
he
watch it
needs
happen
to
to
somehow
Reset.
get these mines to detonate away from his banelings.
He's getting drop for his overlords, which could be awesome.
So it
But
looks like
I
Crux
still-
is going to be dropping Frolic in the back. Got a nice little wall with the baneling nest and spawning pool. That's pretty painful.
It's inconvenient.
He's going to take out the baneling nest and he's going for the lair. I'm not sure if he'll be able to get that though.
I think that was a bit of an overextension by Crux. He could have just gotten the spawning pool and gotten out of there.
Yeah,
That
but
would've been cool enough.
baneling nest is now... Frolic wants to make more banelings because that's all he really has against this Bioforce. But
It's true.
Queen getting taken out. I guess Frolic could try to move down a spine crawler to take out mines. Not quite sure.
That is unlikely to succeed.
Oh, he's trying to push in. Oh, takes out down all of the bio with his banelings. Crux not paying attention for a little bit there. While he drops in the main, takes out the lair.
But that was a pretty ideal engagement, though, for Frolic. He's definitely losing everything back home. But so long as he just goes for the kill, he's still
Oh, Chuck. All right.
40 supply deficit is now even,
Yeah. So
and he is not going for the kill. He's got 47 workers on minerals. That is natural.
Frolic remaking the spawning pool. It was
Yeah, I don't
baneling
know.
nest that got taken out.
I don't know why Frolic is doing this. It seems like, okay, he is attacking now, but he has to realize how massively behind he is in economy. So if I were him, I wouldn't even be trying to build back up at my base, but he is going for it. I guess he's got the money.
I mean, he has a ton of drones and nowhere to mine from it, or with them. So
Oh, he's going to lose everything to this drop. Oh no. He should deny the third. And if he can somehow stop this drop from killing him, he may still have a chance. Oh no. He just lost most of his slings to that mine.
yeah, it's looking really bad for Frolic. He's kind of losing to all this bio. Roaches they don't have their attack upgrades, so they're really not that powerful.
Even with their attack upgrade, they kind of suck.
Yeah, I mean, roaches aren't the best unit Zerg has against Protoss, but they can work if you've got a good enough edge.
Yeah, in this case, they're not going to work, though. It's at least so it seems. Anything could happen. I think 65 supply deficits have been recovered from before in this league.
But Crux with really nice drops, killing a good amount of workers, killing a lot of really important Zerg stuff.
Yeah, I have to commend Crux on his decision making this game. He's been really good about dropping all the time, running in with those Hellions, and keeping enough to defend back home. So I think he's really outplayed Frolic so far in this game. Although Frolic had some bad luck with the mines too.
Yeah, mines are pretty
Terran.
imbalanced, so I can't really blame him for that. Mines are they're the worst unit, pretty much.
Yeah.
Except for all the other Terran units, but... another drop looks like it's going to take out the third. There's nothing around here for Frolic to defend this.
Well, he's trying to attack with his drones, and that didn't really work.
Mine takes out as many Marines as it takes out Zerglings. Yeah, Frolic is just being really annoying with these drops, and with all these slow roaches just trying to wander around, they're just having a whole buttload of time dealing with it. And without a third, Folic's economy is now... Oh, Manor Sensor Tower. Yeah, I don't know, just more roaches aren't really going to break through this bioforce.
It seems like Frolic really has no choice but to stick with the roaches, though, because he's so larva-starved, but... I mean, even though he is floating a ton of money and has no larva, still might be a better idea to just make Zerglings and remake your Banning Nest, and try to at least do something that is slightly more effective against biomine than roaches.
I think I mean, with Banelings, you can really hope that you get a really lucky connection, but with roaches, you kind of just...
Move command them past the Terran army and lose them all?
Kind of, yeah.
Is that what you were gonna say? Yeah. Okay.
And once again, looks like this layer is gonna go down, so I don't think Frolic was really using the layer, but that's another blow to his larva production, which is now off of one hatchery.
Yep.
So Frolic going for Spire because I guess can't
With
really
a couple
kill
of
him.
Mutalisks. Yeah, if he could just get out 18 Mutalisks, maybe.
Oh, and Frolic takes out the sensor tower. So now Frolic will have no idea what's going on in the region of Frolic's base.
The good news for Crux is that he's left like 30 Marines and 6 mines behind for some reason, so he's just chilling with like 2/3 of his army, and that's why he hasn't actually won this game yet.
And he's also making many orbitals because mules are good. Crux plays Terran, so
Yeah.
he knows how good mules are.
He's not really familiar with making SCVs though, but if that's one fault, it's not that bad.
Well,
got a
then he'll
bunch of
have
SCVs
less
chilling,
supply
actually.
to make biomine.
Well, as his drops just killed some Evo chambers and whatever.
Does not manage to get the medevac. Just barely escaping with 3 HP, or not escaping, just
Not
chilling
escaping.
there.
Actually, just gonna stay there. Well, if I could criticize Crux for a moment, I will say that he has 4 of 24 workers mining at his third, and like 16 of 0 at his main.
Oh, I think he just lifted all of his archers. That's cool.
Well, he's just having fun now. And I have to say this game is somewhat over. He's making 10 turrets for like less than 10 Mutalisks.
Oh, mines take out a good amount of Banelings. Now this Roach Force should just die to all these Marines. And Frolic doesn't really have anything left.
Oh, he's not going to be able to defend this 9 Marine 2 SCV draw. A brutal SCV draw. You know when the SCVs are dropping, the game is pretty much over.
Yep, so Crux takes game 1 for Humanitarian campaign to remove mines from Defghanistan. A good game by Crux. I think he was doing a ton of drops, really good damage done by each of them, and Frolic really wasn't able to defend all these drops and just fell behind.
Yeah, it was a really solid game. His macro did slip up a little bit in the late game, but otherwise I have to say, yeah, really impressive play from Crux. And Frolic was just hard-pressed to deal with it after that opening really backfired.
Yeah, Roach Bus can be good, but Crux was really prepared for that, had a lot of mines out, had a lot of units. It's generally their Roach Bus are to like punish greedy Terran play, but Crux wasn't really being greedy.
Indeed. And I don't really like Roach busts without Banelings that much either.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like unless you're going for some sort of like speed Roach thing, which maybe works only against mech, maybe, but I don't know. I did try it earlier today and it worked, but I'm pretty sure my opponents are just bad.
Yeah, I mean they're playing you, so they must be pretty bad.
Yeah. They're all former Master Leaguers demoted for being terrible.
Patch Masters, of course.
Very
So our second game will be between Bamhand and BMAC. Bamhand playing for Humanitarian Campaign and BMAC for GMs of BM. This will be on GSL Atlas. It looks like we've got a gold versus mass. Oh, did I lose Chalk? I may have.
I think my internet died and then came back.
Alright, did you get into this replay?
Let me see. I am in this replay.
Alright. So, spawning in the bottom... Or are you?
I am. I'm back.
Alright. Spawning in the bottom left for GMs of BM, it is BMAC. And in the top right, spawning for Humanitarian Campaign to remove mines from Defghanistan, it is Bamhand.
What's this map called?
Atlas?
Oh, Atlas. I've never actually played on it, but it looks kind of whirlwindy.
Yeah, I'm not really too familiar with how it plays out.
Seems like these players aren't too familiar with it either.
Yeah.
So they're asking whether it's all cross spawns or whatever. Anyway, it looks like they're both going to scout through mid, so they'll be fine.
Oh yeah, didn't...
Bamhand doesn't know how to wall.
Yeah.
That's no surprise. He doesn't know how to wall. On the face of it, I think this match strongly favors Bamhand because he's a former Master League player.
Yeah, so...
And BMAC is in, I don't remember, like Platinum or something?
I thought he's gold, but...
Well, something like that.
be wrong
Anyway,
about
he
that.
plays Zerg, and Bamhand has lost to me in the past, so, you know.
So, I mean, it's not unthinkable.
I would say BMAC is a pretty heavy favorite based on that result, but...
Oh, give Bamhand some credit. I'd say BMAC is just a slight favorite.
Well.
He is, after all, former Masters.
Yeah. On the other hand, Bamhand could just make Void Rays, which, as far as I know, there's no way to beat that, so...
No, I don't think there's any counter to Void Race. Marines, I guess?
Well, anyway, while we've been saying all this, BMAC has gone for a fast gas and a spawning pool, so looks like he's cheesing, but he's not actually mining gas. So I don't know what the hell he's doing. Now he's mining gas.
He's pulling 2 drones to deal with the probe. Puts one back because that's just silly. Bamhand making a nexus.
I don't understand this play from BMAC. I don't know if it will accomplish anything. He's going to get speed. Maybe he's going to go for a big speedling attack.
I'd like to see a baneling nest come down eventually. Just a big baneling bust. I think
He's
that.
going for roaches.
Roaches.
So.
Hmm.
I feel like this is going to massively fail. Because Bamhand will get a mothership core and he'll be totally fine.
Yeah, I'm not so
He's
sure.
he's cannoning gateway. He's going to build a core, another pylon.
Then again,
And there's
Bamhand
really-
doesn't know how to wall, so it could work.
That's true. But BMAC can't really deny scouting. He's successfully faked the natural expansion. So Bamhand does think that there's nothing too cheesy going on. But he'll still be a little bit wary about that lack of a third, and he's going to rescout the natural too. No, he's not.
It looks like he's scouting the other third.
He's going to not rescout the natural.
Yeah. I mean, even if you don't see the natural cancel, if you scout no third, there's probably something fishy going on.
Yeah, and he is building a second gateway. So he's somewhat concerned. BMAC has not started building roaches yet. Now he did. So 8 roaches. He's going to continue to deny scouting. Actually, Bamhand is not scouting. There's zealots coming out.
We
I
have
have to say this could somewhat work.
we do have a second photon cannon going down, so
But no mothership core. No units. No warp gate. The mothership core is coming up now. But these roaches could do a ton of damage.
yeah, hopefully, maybe the zealot may be able to see these roaches incoming, because it looks like it's going to park at the Zelnaga Tower.
BMAC is not gonna, I don't know. Maybe it would have been smarter to send it over one of the side routes or something.
But
Though that does slow it down a lot. He's going
Yep.
to kill the zealot, which is
Bamhand
nice.
sees he's getting some sentries on the way, making more cannons. There's only one pylon powering all this stuff, though. So if BMAC takes that down, then all these cannons will be useless.
And the mothership core is quite a ways away from the Nexus cannon still. There's good force field there.
Yeah,
I'll
catches
kill a couple of free
roaches.
roaches. Losing his cybernetics core could be painful, but that's not the kind of damage that BMAC needs to do. Oh no, these lings.
Small hole, but they're all dying to the and a force field just absolutely destroys all those things.
Yeah, I think BMAC really misused that. Oh no, these roaches. Don't commit suicide, roaches. No, don't do it.
Yeah, I think Bamhand, after scouting, BMAC, a little sarcasm in the chat.
Well, I have to say, BMAC kind of mishandled that. Getting those lings through is a real stroke of luck, and then to just run them around and try to get into the main against 4 cannons. I think he should have just gone for the attack on the cannons, try to kill the sentries, and then do damage to the cannons, go for the roaches, but
Yeah, I
he
agree.
did
I
not
don't
do.
think there was really any way he could do damage to the economy without getting rid of all these cannons. With 4 cannons up, just things evaporate so quickly.
So Bamhand's getting Stargate, he's getting Twilight, he's going to go for that super annoying thing where he makes 1 Oracle and makes you freak out, then he starts making Void Rays, and simultaneously he gets High Templar and takes a 3rd, and it's really annoying. And then he's just going to keep making Void Rays and eventually win. I'm guessing based on how every game I play against him goes.
BMAC getting 2 expands, then taking the lair, making some decent amount of drones. But
Yeah.
at this point,
He's
BAM's economy is just way, way ahead of BMAX. 23 drones to 52 probes.
Yeah, I think BMAC is doing what he should be doing, which is like hope Bamhand never attacks and just try to be as greedy as possible and get straight to some effective unit composition, like maybe swarm hosts or mutalisks, and just try to catch Bamhand off guard.
So an overlord sent in by BMAC does scout the void rays. I'm not sure if he saw the Phoenix in production. You can see it coming out.
Not actually sure why Bamhand's making a Phoenix. Maybe he's actually going to continue making Phoenixes. So that's interesting. Looks like the Void Ray was for defense, and then the Phoenixes are going to be the harassers.
Probably. Phoenix are pretty much the best unit that Protoss has, so it's no surprise that Bamhand wants to make them.
Yeah. Well, Protoss does also have Void Rays, so I have to question Bamhand's decision making a little bit in terms of the amount of Void Rays he's not making, which is most of them.
I don't know, when both the best and the second best unit come out of the Stargate, it's kind of hard to decide which one to make. A bunch of drones just sitting at BMAX Natural. Unfortunate little error there.
The workers are trying to seize the means of production, which is always nice to see. And Bamhand is just getting every tech. He's getting a second Stargate for some reason. Probably to make Void Rays.
I think Bamhand kind of just wants to do the Protoss thing and sit back, get a 200-200 army, despite having an incredible lead over BMAC.
So he is, I mean, I have to say, he's letting BMAC into the game. He's not really in the game still. He is still at half the supply. But it's maybe less of a big deal than when it was 20 supply to 50. Like, Bamhand could have just dropped 4 gateways, gone for a standard gateway attack, and just killed BMAC, absolutely.
Yeah,
Now,
but
BMAC, he's got a decent economy. He could get a great engagement or something. Anything could happen.
I think Bamhand wants to
Bamhand does 83 probes, so.
show off and make carriers.
Carriers.
That's what I imagine will be coming out of Stargate. That's the only thing I could possibly... the only thing that Bamhand should make out of his Stargates. There we go. Carriers.
Carriers. That's nice to see.
So BMAC deciding to go Phoenix, Hydras against these Phoenix. Should be able to hold them off pretty well. These Phoenix really aren't doing much. I think they killed like a queen, maybe some overlords.
Bamhand is building more probes.
Well, of course, if you have 95 probes, just why not
Round
build
it
more?
out, even 100.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I mean, if you're 37 out of 24 at your third, just make a few more probes. It'll be fine.
Good point. And he is supply blocked because he plays Protoss, so he's not used to doing things that aren't pressing A and then moving. So this building probes thing, I don't know about that.
Yeah, so Bamhand going for a lot more gates. So hopefully we'll see an attack sometime soon. Maybe.
I hate to say I have insider info on this, but I'm just going to speculate that there won't be an attack for another 8 minutes or so.
Real. Oh my goodness. What are you doing, Bamhand?
Bamhand.
So,
He's making 9 cannons.
yeah, Bamhand just, I don't know what he's doing. He's having fun playing SimCity.
So Bamhand's just macroing. BMAC is also macroing that he's so far behind. So far behind. 3 more Stargates. That's cool.
Yep, lifted up that egg. That Hydralisk can't build. So it looks like we're in for the long haul in this game. So, how about them Spurs?
Yeah, how about those Spurs? Pretty glad that they lost the last game.
Eh. Real sports.
Yeah, real sport. The only real sport is e-sport, of course. Although I have to say, Bamhand's being a little bit unsportsmanlike. I mean, this behavior is just beyond the pale. He's getting a dark shine.
Yeah, just because he wants to be even more BM.
Maybe he thinks he's behind.
Oh, of
I
course.
mean, he's not scouting at all, so for all he knows, BMAC is on like 6 bases. Mass Vipers.
He does have these Phoenix that are moving around.
Oh yeah, never mind.
So Bamhand is going for a robotics base, so it looks like he wants to build something that counters Mass Hydra. I guess that's a good decision.
Well, he's got Templar already, so I have to say I think he'll be fine. Even if he makes no more units and just attack moves with all his probes, he will still be fine.
Bamhand taking the 5th because I don't know he's Protoss. And just take bases.
So Yap just asked, is Chutes and Ladders a good game? And then answered himself no. Like, is he an idiot or something? I mean, besides the fact that he's Yap.
Yeah, yes, he is.
Who the hell thinks Chutes and Ladders is not a good game? It's literally insane. And it's also, it's Snakes and Ladders, not Chutes and Ladders. Snakes.
Let's see.
This game is going to last another, I have to say, like 5 minutes and 20 seconds somehow.
Yeah.
Which I don't believe how that's possible. Bamhand, by the way, is now ahead only 45 supply, which is less than the amount of supply he was ahead earlier in this game.
Yeah, I mean, with BMAC's big bank, he could pretty much almost be mad.
He could build more Hydralisks,
Yeah.
and then he could lose them all to 2 Storms, probably. Storm is OP. And Bamhand's building another, like, 12 dozen cannons. BMAC is going to build Roaches, which are the hard counter to carriers.
And a swarm host.
Yes, the accidental swarm host when he was trying to get adrenal glands. Classic. Not sure why he's getting adrenal glands, because he has no lings and the ability to mass produce lings, I guess. I don't know. Well, he's almost even in supply now. Still has no chance of winning.
Fortunately, he's got a pretty massive upgrade deficit. Only 1-1 currently. About to hit 2-2, but against this 3-3 ground army. I don't know if
he's getting a greater spire. Who knows? These broodlords could wreak massive havoc on this dozen carrier army.
I think what BMAC should have done is make a bunch of infestors, get Neural Parasite, and then Neural Parasite Bamhand's entire army.
Yeah, I don't actually know what he should have done, but I think the ultimate unit to make when you're behind is still infestors, so maybe that is what he should have done. Is there going to be an attack? No. He's just going to take the watchtower. Great work, Bamhand. This is agonizing.
This game should hopefully end eventually. I don't know. Bam Hands just being really BM. I'm never casting another match of Humanitarian campaign. Sorry, Bam Hand.
This is disgusting. So he's gonna A move. Is he gonna? Oh, he did storm once. He used his 16 full energy High Templar to drop one storm. Protoss. It's a good race.
Just gotta sit back, close my eyes. Wait, I will follow a carrier. I'm not gonna talk for the next until this is done. So enjoy.
So the classic lose your Templars because you're a huge noob into win anyway. He's making more carriers for some reason. This game lasts another 32 seconds. Carriers are overpowered.
Alright, GG from BMAC. Let's get the hell out of this
Yay.
game. Alright, Bamhand with a very BM game 2 takes it for Humanitarian campaign. So it's currently 2-0 in favor of Humanitarian campaign.
Yep. Well, in terms of like morals or ethics, I think that's at least a 1-1.
Yeah, I'm actually going to award that for BMAC just because that was just a terrible game. Terrible game.
So Epic Thread just pointed out to me that one carrier survived with 2 HP, which is, to me, since he probably didn't micro it, that's just further evidence of imbalance.
Yeah, so let's get into Game 3 with the score tied 1-1 into our game on Star Station, Tox versus Hanks.
It might be Tokes.
Tokes?
I think I remember that from Season 0.
Okay, Tokes. Hanks playing for the Neo Humanitarian campaign, and Tokes for GMs of BM.
Yep. And Tokes is unranked for this season. Guessing this was played this season. But I seem to recall he was at least platinum and heart of the Swarm beta, so he's probably about the same level.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure.
He's probably at least like diamond or something.
I mean, he might just have not played because
anything is possible.
That's what I did. So I don't know.
Well, you know. Anyway, he's at the top left playing Zerg.
Yeah, and in the bottom right, playing for Neo Humanitarian campaign to remove mines from Defghanistan, it is Hanks. So we have another TVZ, this time on Star Station. I don't really have anything to say. I'm kind of bored. I'm totally burnt out of that last match. It just sucked all of my motivation for StarCraft.
I think Star Station is a pretty solid map for Zerg in this matchup. The third is pretty easy to hold for Terran, and they can build it like right next to it and float it over really quick. But it's hard for them to keep their fourth and fifth bases, and comparatively easier for Zerg to maintain map control. Although drops are pretty good on this map as well.
Yeah, I think also there aren't as many like narrow chokes, so it's less easier to come in for flanks and get good surrounds on things.
That is true.
Because like, if the Terran is tacking into the Zerg third, there's just so much area that they can't just put all their mines in one place and the Zerg can't do anything about it.
I have to say though, I remember back in the early days of Heart of the Swarm, this map was not cross only, and then it was really bad. It really sucked for Zerg when you got close positions, so I'm glad they fixed that. And I'm glad they do that on every ladder map now. Thank you, Blizzard. And it would be cool if you could also remove Widow Mines.
Please nerf Hellbats.
That too.
Also Marines. Just as long as we're throwing out suggestions.
Yep. So Hank's going for the high ground CC first, which Epic Thread said in the chat was really ballsy, but in my opinion it's pretty safe.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're going against a 6 pool, getting that high ground, you can get the barracks down in time to stop a 10 pool or anything like that. So I don't think it's... I think it's a pretty smart build on this map.
Yeah, I think a lot of greedy Terrans will take it just at their natural, like Jimmy, which is unsafe versus pretty much any early pool, but this high ground CC is, I don't know, I think it's safe versus pretty much anything that the Zerg will throw out at you.
Yeah, it's just another example of Terran imbalance, really. Zerg has to hatch first at their natural.
Yeah, Terran's just a silly race.
Anyway, he's going for a fast factory, so he's not going to do the common 2 barracks after CC first. He's just going to go straight into factory. Reactor Hellions. And a 3rd CC. So innovation style.
Yeah.
I think innovation build.
Yeah, I think
So
that's...
we have to hope that Tokes goes for a Roach Baneling all in, really.
he's going
Or
for
takes
Burrow.
the top 3rd.
So, what is he doing with Burrow? Is he going for a Roach?
If he's going for a Burrow Ling attack, that will be awesome and probably really bad.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what Burrow
I mean,
thinks.
that seems like something that would be ludicrously difficult to micro.
I'm anxious to see Toxic Burrow Ling micro, honestly.
This could be really awesome. Who knows? He is massing Lings. And actually, Hanks has like no units. He's got 2 Marines. He's going to make Hellions. He might make Marauders, which would be bad. He's making Marines.
I think with good Hellion control with some pulled workers, oh, if he doesn't get them killed by Lings right now...
That's to control... Oh, no.
Ooh.
Well, these Lings just turned around for some reason. He could have had both Hellions, but he didn't get them.
Yeah, but now with workers protecting the Hellions, I'm not sure if Tox can really... Unless he has some sick Broad Ling micro.
Well, he just suicided a bunch of Lings, so I don't think his micro is going to be that sick. He hasn't burrowed yet, so I have to say the burrow was probably a mistake. He probably just accidentally got burrow, which is pretty sad. Though we were so excited about it, now it's just an accident.
Yeah, oh well. So
And he got double Evo Chamber, but then went Lair and +1. So I'm not sure about that either. I feel like he should have gotten 1-1 and then Lair.
Yeah, I think I might be a little bit mistaken. He should have gotten 2 geysers to get gas.
Yeah. Well, the Evo Chambers were actually at a pretty good time for that one gas that he was working off at the time, but then he decided to get a Lair instead of +1 armor. Which I'm not sure about why he made that decision. He's now getting a Roach Warren, so maybe he's going to go for a Roach Speed.
And a
Baneling
Baneling
speed.
Nest, so yeah. Maybe a Speed Bane, Speed Roach all in. That would seem pretty sick.
I have to say this would probably be like some sort of... I don't know, this is probably a backup plan type of build, because it's not very clean.
Yeah, he does charge all of his Lings into some mines in the bunker in front of Hanks's base, so...
Mines are overpowered.
They are.
They've got 19 kills combined.
Yeah, mines.
That's cool.
Terran.
And so Hanks is continuing to play defensively. He uprooted those mines for some reason, but all he has to do is lower them down again. He should be pretty safe. It is going to be Baneling speed. He hasn't used the Roach Warren at all.
Yeah, he's also getting a Spire, so...
I think Tokes has just been really indecisive this game. Getting Burrow and not using it. Getting double Evos and not using them fast as he could have. Getting a Roach Warren and not using it.
Yeah, I think with all these, like, all these different tech paths that Toke's trying to do, he's kind of trying to do everything at once, which means you do kind of everything poorly.
Unless you play Protoss, it's not really a good strategy.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, Hanks is taking his third, at the same time that Tox is basically starting his third, so Hanks will have pretty good economy and be able to produce very quickly.
And now an infestation pit for Tokes. He's got the Spire about to finish, but he'll only have enough gas for like 3 Mutilisks. So continuing to just unnecessarily build buildings that he can't really use. He's not going to use the Spire at all.
So I think Tux does see the third, or he sees that it's coming down.
Yeah.
But at this moment, there's really nothing he can do to attack this, I don't think. I mean, he's got a few links he could send towards there, but there's just so many, so much biomine here.
Yeah. He really has to hope there's no attack, but he has so much tech that he's not really in a position to use. The Spire that he doesn't have enough gas to use. Infestation Pit, but no Infestor upgrade. Getting a Hive now?
And Pathogen Gland, so I guess he's going for Ultras?
Yeah, it looks like he's probably going to go for Ultras, but I don't know why he played so defensively, I guess, if he was just going to go straight for Ultras. Because he's got pretty solid map vision this whole game, so he knew Hanks wasn't going for any attacks, which, by the way, I think Hanks should have been dropping sooner.
Yeah, I
I
think
think it's always good to drop, but
yeah, Hanks has been playing really defensively, but Tox has been very indecisive about what he wants to do. So that's just made it like really hard for Tox to keep the economy, keep up with Hanks, who's just kind of turtling.
yeah. And also, Tokes did not have his Overlords in position to scout this drop coming, so he's gonna take not gonna take any damage from it. Pretty solid defense.
Looks like Hanks might get his... No, does barely manage to save his medevac. That's when, well, the Ultralisk's cavern does come down, along with Adrenal Glands and all of his 3/3 upgrades, so... Tokes will have his 3/3 upgrade before Hanks, but it looks like Hanks, now that he's 200, is just gonna max.
This timing is brutal for Tokes. He's probably not even gonna get Ultras out before these units can cross the map, since he was supply blocked. And he's only got enough gas for 1 Ultra because he made a bunch of Banelings, so... He's going to make Infestors instead. I think that's a good idea, but so far behind.
Yeah, Hank's doing well, clearing out creep, kind of just slow pushing in, just with small groups of his army, because he doesn't want to get them all taken out by Banelings. That's like pretty much the only thing that can get Tox back into this game. Is just Hanks deciding to hold position while Banelings kill all of his stuff. And getting an Infestor, walking it out into a mine, that's really painful. He needs those fungal growths right now.
Yeah, these mines aren't spaced out very wide, but they're in this like semi-choke point, so it's going to be really tough for Tokes to engage into that at all. Even once he gets Ultralisks out, he's only going to have 2 of them, which really isn't enough to clear out mines.
Looks like he will get his evolution chambers, so that 3-3 is going to be quite a ways off for Tokes. And mines kill all those banelings, so that's really painful. But he does get a lot of his bio cleaned up.
He's going to kill the mines. No, they get lifted up. Nice lift.
So pretty good defense by Tokes. Getting some
Well,
nice
he
banelings.
survived, but if Hanks had been spending his money that whole time, he would just be maxed again and go in with a second wave. However, he was not. So he's getting 4th and 5th base, which is disgusting.
And he's taking the gas on all those bases because Terrans need a lot of gas for their marines and mines.
Yeah, Terrans need all sorts of gas in ZVT, TVZ. I really hope he doesn't decide to just get battle cruisers or something.
Is that hum from you?
What?
I don't know, I'm hearing a hum.
Yeah, there's a garage door opening in my house right now.
So it
Probably
looks like
gonna
Tux is
some
moving in,
sack.
trying to take his 4th, or take the 4th of Hanks down. But Note decides no, that's not a good idea.
There it is. Could be a good engagement for Tokes. No, it's not.
No, looks like Hanks is gonna clear this stuff out. Yeah, there's just too much bio. He needs something to keep it down like an Infestors that he's making right now.
Well, he didn't have any Banelings or Infestors, and pure Ling Ultra is not that good unless you can get a surround. You have to flank, and even then they can just lift, so I don't really understand why he was going out with that army composition.
Yeah,
Oh, he's got 2 Ultras chilling in his 3rd mineral line. That's painful.
So a good amount of Ultras. Fox can just keep Hanks' army. He's stimming a whole bunch, so a lot of his units are pretty low on HP. It's like with a couple of fungals, he will be able to clean up all these bio.
He needs to get an Overseer and he can kill all these mines, but oh no, never mind. I forgot about Medivacs. Anyway, still got these. Oh no, he's added those 2 Ultras to his army now.
Yeah, Hanks.
So he's got Queens with a lot of energy, so he can transfuse, keep the Ultras alive. He's making mutas, I guess, to kill the dropships, but you probably should just make Infestors instead, I would say.
Yeah, at this point, Hanks should just kind of like parade push, just set the rally point over at Tox's base, and he can probably just keep A-moving to win.
Yeah, I agree. And Tokes is gonna he's gonna try to get a 4th, which is what he should do, but it's not gonna happen. He is playing against a Terran, so these Widow Mines are in prime position to kill these Medivacs. So if he could pull off some sort of Stefano miracle.
Just play like Stefano, and you might be able to win this, Tux.
Yeah. Make tons of Swarm Hosts and play unwatchable ZVPs. And you too could come back from this situation. But it looks like he's just going for Infestors instead.
Yeah, it looks like Hanks is just gonna kind of push in and probably kill everything. Mines are gonna do well against these Ultras when you've got this many mines. Good fungal captures a good amount of bio, but oh goodness,
Oh,
all
there's
those
so many
mines.
mines. Oh my god. I mean, that's so obscene. And the mutalisks did get cleaned up by some marines, so...
So with no more mutas and just all the stuff at his base, there's really nothing Tox can do.
The drone pull is a strong counter against mines, but not strong enough. These mines are off cooldown now.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not...
It would be cool if Hanks would just unburrow all of his mines and then just attack with only the mines. Like, just to show everyone how disgusting this unit is, but...
I mean, mines are all you really need to make in pretty much any matchup as Terran.
Yeah.
The only reason that people don't make only mines is they want to be a little sporting about it, right?
Of course. That's why you have to make weaker units like the Marine and the Marauder.
Yes.
For a long time in StarCraft 2, people thought they were strong, but then they discovered these new units like Hellbats and Mines and...
I
Poor old
mean,
Marine and Marauder, they just don't compare anymore. Yeah.
Hanks
So he's gonna
is
go and... he's-
wondering, why are you still in this game? Do you have 4 hidden bases somewhere? And then he'll see, no. No, Tox is just dead. Gets a fungal on some of these mines, so they won't be able to burrow as quickly. So these ultras stay alive for 2 more seconds.
Toast is still in it, he's at 33 supply. Oh no, it's GG.
And then GG. So Hanks manages to take it for Humanitarian Campaign to remove mines from Defghanistan. That means that Humanitarian Campaign has won our matchup, but our next 2 games will still be cast because all matches count for points.
I have to say though, 3-0 in matches that all took way longer than they should have.
Yeah, Humanitarian Campaign really BM with their match lengths. I advise Epic Thread, Dipwood, anyone who wants to cast, don't cast Humanitarian Campaign. Their match is not very fun to watch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it may be the right way to play, you know, get more ahead and all that shit, but man, it makes for some dull endings. It makes for some really anticlimactic things.
Yeah, it's no fun to cast a game that goes on 10 minutes longer when it was won at the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, well, hopefully this will be a more exciting game.
Yeah, we do have a diamond versus a diamond, so these should be pretty evenly matched. In the top left, spawning for GMs of BM, it is Elegans. And in the bottom right, spawning for Team Humanitarian Campaign to remove mines from Defghanistan, it is Jack Burton.
Elegance with no HF. So starting off with some BM, also picking Protoss.
So double BM right there.
Yeah, very questionable tactics from Elegance, who is a former Protoss player in Wings of Liberty, and then he switched to Terran for Heart of the Swarm, and now switching back to Protoss. Kind of an interesting move.
Well,
I would say it's a lateral move, because both races are overpowered.
Well, but I don't think Elegans has the ability to multitask that Terran needs. He doesn't know how to drop and do other things at the same time.
He doesn't know how to drop mules and make Hellbats at the same time.
Yeah, he only knows how to A move. He doesn't know how to actually make things.
Okay, I see.
Because I think Terran's quite a bit harder because, you know, you need to make both Widow Mines and Hellbats to win, whereas with Protoss, all you need is Void Rays. So that's twice as complicated for Terrans.
That's a good point. So Elegance is going for a gateway expand. Or probably an expand anyway. Going for a gateway.
Jack Burton going with a hatch first against Gateway expand, so it'll be in no danger.
Is this a weirdly fast second pylon by Elegance, or that?
A little
He
bit.
got the second pylon on like 15.
Yeah, normally you get it on 16. I wasn't... Maybe he didn't chrono boost his probes or something, and so he had enough money early on. I wasn't paying attention. I don't know.
Yeah, he's going for a core. He's probably going to follow it up with a Nexus and a Mothership core and all that jazz. I think a decent build advantage for Jack Burton going hatch first.
Yeah, I think hatch first is really nice if you can get away with it. If you know your opponent is going gateway first.
Well, recently I always hatch first, or try to hatch first, unless I see a probe going into my base at like 14 or 15 supply. Because generally the scout on a gateway expand is so much later that you can just get a hatch first out, no trouble.
Yeah, normally on a forge fast expand, your 9 pylon probe will go out to scout, which means it'll get there before. Oh, it looks like we had a little bit of lag. It'll get there before you throw down a pool or your hatchery. So you can see, oh, there's a scout in my base really early. He's probably forge fast expanding.
Yeah, it's kind of handy. Of course, it could always be a proxy 2-gate, which is... you never know. You never know with proxy 2-gates.
Yeah,
You have to just do some sick drone micro.
yeah.
But yeah, I think
so, you know.
Jack Burns, he's in solid shape. He's going to get ling speed. He's still mining gas, so he's probably going to delay his third and go for some Evo chambers or a lair or something before that.
He's got a good amount of
he's-
lings on the field.
Yeah. I think he's probably it's just enough to defend against the Zealot, potential 2 Zealot with the Mothership core attack, which is not coming.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to the front, so he's gonna pick off probe, scouting probe.
He's going to get in, actually.
Gonna absolutely just gonna walk right in.
That's actually going to be super annoying for Elegance. He could lose, like, at least 3. He's not going to... He's...
No.
What?
Not gonna lose probes.
He's not going
Somehow.
to lose probes somehow.
Oh, there he finally loses a couple
He
probes.
lost a probe. And he's going to lose his cannon.
He might lose his
Warp gate is up, so he's probably not going
pylon
to do
for
much.
these warp
Oh,
gates.
only one pylon.
Wow,
no.
these just a few 6
Oh
or 8
my God.
lings. My
What
goodness.
a nightmare for Elegance. His wall, I have to say his wall was really weird.
Yeah,
and I don't
think he
it's off the
misplaced.
wall. But Jack Burton is just going to be so annoying at this. Elegance
He can
can
now
only
just go
build
into the main, or get all of his links killed by. Oh, Jack Burton just being so annoying.
and he's massively getting ahead economically here.
Yes,
Stirring up like crazy. He's at 17 worker lead. He's continuing to pick off a couple of workers there. And he's actually going to suicide them into the Nexus cannon, but whatever.
but at this point it doesn't matter. Jack Burton got himself just a huge lead with those lings.
Well, he's going for a lair and a roach warren, which is kind of interesting. I don't really know why you would want to get a roach warren this quick. I guess he might be worried about a potential counterattack by Elegance, but
Yeah, I feel like
Yep, really have
Elegance,
the economy
one of the
for it.
things Elegance can do is try to just warp in a bunch of zealots, and hopefully Jack Burton has done nothing but drone behind it, so he can kind of catch back up in that way.
he doesn't have any proxy pylons though. He looks like he's just scouting for a third with that probe.
There's a proxy pylon in the bottom.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, I play Zerg. I don't need to look at the minimap.
It's cool. You just have scouting overlords, and they'll see everything.
So Jack Burton, he's got his lair finished. He's making a bunch of roaches, getting 1-1. I think he should go into swarm hosts from here.
So
I think probably the best move.
warp prism along with a robotics bay is coming down. So what I really hope we get is some speed prism Colossus drops.
That would. Has the warp prism change gone through yet?
No, it's still in
Base
the
thing?
testing. They removed the
Well, I guess
automatic.
this match was probably played a week ago or whatever. Anyway, so never mind.
Chuck. Chuck. There we go.
I think.
You're alright there, Chuck?
If you hear me, I am.
I do hear you.
Cool. Alright.
So he's gonna come in with this warp
So-
prism. Not quite sure what he. I guess he wants to warp some zealots into the main. But I think.
He might want to warp them in at the proxy pylon and load them in and drop them straight into the main, or not. He's not going to do
I
that.
don't think he's gonna do that. That's just too clever
Well,
for
there's
elegance.
no the overlord placement by Jack Burton is pretty bad, I have to say. He doesn't have an overlord at the potential 9 o'clock base.
Oh, he's going for a sentry drop.
Not
Gonna force field
good.
the ramp. That
Yeah,
could
and
do
Jack
a
Burton
decent amount of
doesn't see it
damage.
happening at all.
Completely. Yeah, his entire army is out on the field, so there's really nothing here to defend for Jack Burton.
Well, it looks like Elegance only has like 3 or 4, or he might not have any force fields left after this. I'm not sure. Maybe 1.
Yeah, with only 2.
This isn't going to last that long. He had to cancel that was a mistake. He canceled the sentries warping in because he was worried about that one Hydra. But he
Yeah,
couldn't finish the warp in, and now this attack is just going to peter out.
yeah. Unfortunately, without enough sentry energy, there's really difficult for Elegance to hold that for very long. Doesn't have a whole bunch of gates because he's going for Colossus at the same time, so kind of
And
schizophrenic.
continuing this attack is just not a good idea at all. He saw how superior that firepower of Jack Burton was.
Yes.
He's going to lose everything.
Yeah,
I have to
that's
say the initial defense by Jack Burton was really solid, pulling the queen from his main instantly to try to kill that high energy sentry. Was actually some good micro.
Yeah, well done by Jack Burton.
I don't know why he would micro since he's playing Zerg, but he did actually do that pretty well. He's getting Hive now, so I would say he's going to go for Ultralisks. Although he's getting +2 melee, so it could be just for Vipers. He's getting +2 range, that is. And Elegans is definitely going to go all in here with some sort of Colossus Gateway army. He's still got no third.
It looks like he's. Yeah, he looks like he wants to take the third right now, so.
Ah.
So this game will go on longer unless Jack Burton wants to do an all-in of his own, but against a
Yeah.
couple of Colossi into this tiny choke, that's probably would be a pretty bad decision. Unless you can get Vipers out.
Yep. He's getting a Baneling Nest for some reason.
I think Banelings are pretty cool.
Yeah, this Zealot warp in here is actually pretty nice. Just gonna pull Jack Burton back and give him some extra time to try to reinforce his third.
Looks like he'll take the spawning. Oh, 14, one hit away from getting destroyed. So the
So he
spawning
narrowly
pool does
misses this second spawning pool kill. But he's actually doing these warp-ins over at the fourth as well, which is really nice. Although I think he didn't really need to warp the Zealots in at both proxy pylons. He just revealed them both. And now he's going to lose them both, but no, he's not going to lose them both.
Very sneaky.
So-
Sneaky pylons.
Actually, some excellent proxy pylon placement from Elegance. He's got them at like every potential base. Very.
Lynx managed to squeak by, but there's too much Protoss in here, and that would be, I think, pretty silly to attack into that. He has Vipers on the field, but not enough energy yet for any.
He doesn't have any
abducts.
extra buildings to siphon off of. He's doing it off the third, which I would say he should do it off of a gas geyser or something. And Zealot Warpin is back at the main. We're running into some queens. He's gonna kill the spawning pool again.
I'm not sure if Jack Burton really needs that spawning pool.
I don't think he does, since he's only making roaches and stuff.
Yeah, he doesn't have any melee upgrades, so it doesn't look like he really wants to do any ultra lane play.
I think he should get melee upgrades eventually, though. I mean, as cool as Vipers are, this Roach Hydra composition still has a time limit on it. Like, once Elegant starts getting like a 3 Stargate Void Rays or whatever, it's only a matter of time before the Roach Hydra is outlived its sell-by date.
Looks like some DTs are going to come in and take down the Hive. No detection here for Jack Burton. And some DTs looks like they're also going down.
Finish in time?
Oh, so transfuse, but
No,
no,
he's
just
not
barely gets the Hive down. While at the natural, these 2 DTs are also going to town on the drones. But they do get cleaned up eventually.
That's some decent DT play. He is warping in DTs over at that 4th to kill it as well.
Yeah,
He's sending them into the 3rd.
Jack Burton still hasn't cleaned up that pylon, so that's really annoying.
That's some very nice DT play from Elegance, or as I say nice DT play, it really means he just warped in DTs and sent them to 3 different places.
I mean,
It's not
that's all
actually
you
hard.
really need to do. I mean, for Protoss, that's a pretty good play.
And he did actually manage to accidentally run his DTs into his Observer, and that's lose the Observer also to the Overseer and Hydras. So not perfect, but he did do solid damage with that. Still contained to 3 bases, though.
Yeah,
Jack
but
Burton,
this Warp Prism has just kind of sat there and just kept being so annoying for Jack Burton.
yeah.
If you'd like leave a Hydra, that'd be good. But pulling all of those Colossi, there's nothing with all these Lings, Roaches, Hydras. I'm not sure with Elegance without any Colossi to really do that damage.
Some really solid Viper usage, which I'm glad he did decide to finally attack, because he was just sitting there maxed for so long. And now he's finally able to do some pretty serious damage. The DT Warpins will help clean this up eventually.
But with the remax by Jack Burton, and just gonna come in with a whole ton of roaches and probably just finish off Elegance.
Yeah. The one area of potential worrying would be that he doesn't have a 4th base up. He's actually only mining off of 2 bases now, one of which is going to run out pretty quickly, so Elegance is actually ahead in economy somehow. And, oh no, these DTs are all going to die, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think Jack Burton's army is just too many roaches, not enough stuff for Elegance to defend. And he still has a few DTs going to town with no Overseers, or Overseers coming to the rescue, but there's just so much stuff here for Jack Burton.
Oh, the Nexus Cannon could save him against these 30 summoning roaches. Let's see. Nexus Cannon versus 36 roaches. Nexus Cannon, 36 roaches. I think the roaches have it.
It'll be close. This Nexus has 3 kills. No, it goes down! So the roaches managed to clean up the Nexus Cannon. And Elegance is in a lot of trouble now. Because he really wasn't in trouble before, but until that...
Yeah, he was fine until this queen came along. Full energy queen joining the fight.
Gonna have 4
Now he's in
transfuses. Just gonna absolutely be just too much for Elegance to deal with. These probes are just running somewhere.
Well, actually, I think Elegance is going to take this one because he's got this mothership core, and there's no anti-air on the map for Jack Burton, so...
Did you forget the queen? Oh, Jack
Well, I
Burton
did.
thought ahead.
He brought the queen, but does the queen actually beat the mothership core? I mean, if you tank... I mean, the queen does beat the mothership core, but if you tank, like, one attack, then the Mothership Core actually wins.
Okay, so
But
GG by Elegans. So Jack Burton.
all academic early quit from Elegance. I mean, yeah, he was behind 152 supply, but you
I
know,
mean, look at his
he had a
bank.
shot. He had that.
He had like a 3K bank if he just remaxed.
Well, he didn't actually have any production, but you know,
Minor
could have.
details. Alright, so that means that Humanitarian Campaign is now 4-0 against GMs of BM. So, could we have our first 5-0 clean sweep on our hands?
I don't want to spoil anything, but there might be another clean sweep.
Oh,
Well, I don't know. I don't know actually if there might be another like really one-sided series. I have insider information on. But
Stop spoiling. Stop with your spoilers.
this actually could be a really cool game because it's on Fruitland. It's two very good players.
Sure.
Compared to me, they're both good. I think both players have a winning record against me.
Alright, so spawning in the bottom left for Team GMs of BM, it is Penguin. And in the top right, the captain for Humanitarian Campaign to remove mines from Defghanistan, it is Colin Cruz. Oh, sorry,
If he
Strongboy.
loses this game,
It's Strongboy.
could well, we'll call him Colin since that's just. I mean, Strong Boy, really?
Yeah, he's Strongboy.
Strong Boy. Alright, so Strong Boy, if he loses this game, should he be demoted from his captain spot? I mean, his team is already won 4-0, so showing their total superiority. If he loses in the captain's game, that's like a black mark.
Yeah, it's really embarrassing if Colin loses. Or Strongboy loses. Sorry. Sorry,
Yeah.
Strongboy.
He should probably be demoted from his administrative duties as well, if that happens.
Yeah.
I mean, then it would be time to step back and focus on the game, man. Just playing Terran isn't enough to lead you to victory in every match. Maybe it is. We'll see. Some BM here. I
Yeah.
believe his team has a better record than Colin's team. So it's actually technically a better team.
Sorry, Strongboy. No. But yes, I believe Colin is, the Colin team is worse on record versus Era's team.
Objectively a worse team in every way.
Yes.
And Penguin saying he's gonna lag. I will also lag.
Of course, let's all have fun and lag. Colin going for a Reaper. So, little pausing going on between the two players.
Penguin's got a decently fast gas, so he should be pretty fine against this Reaper. Or probably the second Reaper that will follow it up.
Yeah, so Colin
It's already
making
queued.
2 Reapers. I'm not quite sure this is a great map for Reapers. There's not a whole lot of room to jump and be annoying.
That's true, actually. There's very little cliff space on this map.
Yeah, I don't
You can
know.
still get around like the back of the natural, but without being able to do it that much on the other side of the ramp, he could be in trouble. I mean, he might not be able to do anything once there's 2 queens out. So
Might be able to
Penguin
get
not
some drone
saving it.
kills.
Save the drone. Morph it into something, please.
Oh, 2 drones, 2 drones.
Don't die.
Oh, 2
Oh,
kills
God.
by the Reaper. That worked.
Not the best anti-Reaper control by Penguin, I have to say.
But it does look like this.
Better than mine, but not the best. Could have morphed that into a spore crawler or something.
Looks like with the two Reapers going to come in, get another drone kill, so these Reapers doing quite well in killing drones.
Yeah, Colin's actually making this work really well.
Kind of suiciding is...
Actually, yeah, that was not good.
Yeah, that's a little bit of an overextension with his Reapers.
But he's going for the Soul Key, or the Innovation build. We'll see if Penguin goes for the Soul Key build of making roaches and banelings.
Isn't this like the Flash build?
Is it the Flash build? I don't know.
I don't know. It's...
The build where you go for 2 Reapers, CC, and a factory and another CC and a reactor. Isn't that the Innovation build?
I thought Innovation was like just 3 CCs into Reactor Hellion without any Reapers.
Oh, well, whatever. It's the Flash build then.
Whatever, it doesn't fucking matter.
I like that Penguin is taking a third. 6-minute third is pretty good. This is the Flash build, says Epic Thread.
Whatever, we'll call it the Gumiho build.
Probably wrong.
It's the Gumiho build.
Yeah, it's the Epic Thread build.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty solid build. But Penguin taking a decently fast third, so he's not going to be too far behind economically. And he's getting faster upgrades as well. I think that may be the benefit of getting a fast gas against this like 3cc build. You're behind a little bit economically, but you get that better tech early.
I mean, Penguin was talking about the Soul Key Speedling Baneling bus, so I really hope Penguin decides to follow through with that. Get that 1-1, go up to lair.
Looks like he's not going to do it though. He's getting a Baneling nest. I don't know about that Baneling nest. It feels a little bit unnecessarily early to me. But maybe, I don't know. I'm bad at ZVT, so what do I know?
Yeah, Penguin does know there's a third CC on the way, so he knows that there's really no aggression that's going to come out of Colin for at least another, I don't know, 3 minutes, besides these Hellions.
Yeah. Well, so unless he's going for some sort of attack, which the Baneling Nest, I feel like it was too fast even for any sort of attack.
The Roach Warren
not
is
a big
going
deal,
down,
though.
So
If
we might
he
see
actually
that Roach
goes for
speed.
that speed, yeah, that would be awesome.
I hope he does, because that's an awesome build, and it's probably...
And this is a pretty small map,
Yeah.
and there's not a great wall here. And Colin, as far as I know, he doesn't make tanks, except for every time I go roaches against him somehow.
So these Hellions in the natural, a few worker kills, but he's going to lose all map control with the loss of these Hellions. I don't think that was worth that at all for Colin.
I think Colin just continuing to be too aggressive with his units. He threw away that one Reaper early on, trying to go for a drone, and then lost those Hellions for not too many kills.
Yeah,
That was kind of a risky move, which I don't know if you're playing Terran, you don't really need to take any risks.
No, I don't think that was a good idea by Colin, because right now he's going to have no idea that this Roach Bane all-in is coming.
It is awesome that it's coming, and I have to say I feel like Penguin kind of didn't time it perfectly, but it's still... he's going to be even on upgrades. He's going to have a ton more units, though. Colin just doesn't have much at all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it didn't sound like he had this build extensively practiced. He just kind of had the general idea. Scan does see some roaches coming out, so hopefully Colin will get a little bit suspicious. And
Colin is massively supply blocked, though, at the worst possible time. He's not going to get his first 2 Widow Mines out for ages, so only 2 Widow Mines is really not going to be enough to handle this amount of Zerglings, Banelings, Roaches. And he's going for a drop, too, which is ballsy, and probably will destroy a lot of economy at this third, but...
At the same time, I feel like Colin's base will just get destroyed while this drop
Yeah,
is killing some
exactly.
drones.
I don't know why Penguin is morphing in all these banelings back here, though. He should be just getting outside of Collins natural. He should be going for it now.
But this drop killing a good
It's like,
amount
I
of
don't know why
drones.
he's going back to defend this drop. Like, he should just build a bunch of roaches, rally them to his natural, give up the third, and go for the kill. He's giving Colin more and more time to respond. I still don't think Colin's anywhere near ready, though.
Yeah, and he's not making any additional bunkers. He's taking his third at this
He's
time,
putting his
so...
Widow Mines in... Oh no. He's gonna get them triggered. That's not good. So many Banelings. Way more Banelings than Colin has Marines back here.
Yeah, I'd say... it's not looking good for Colin right now. He's now supply blocked with the destruction of all these supply depots, and these Banelings are just rolling into Marines. There's not much army left for Colin. He's got a small bit of bio up here, but all these SCVs look like they're going to get taken out by Lings, and these roaches are just going to come up and kill Colin's units. And with all these roaches now camping the production of Colin, there's nothing really he can do.
So even that drop at the third is eventually getting cleaned up. And all the SCVs of Colin are going to die, except for the ones, well, except for the 8 mules at the third. There's the GG.
And GG, so Penguin takes game 5, preventing the all kill by Humanitarian campaign. So really,
Completing the moral victory. Moral victory.
yeah, but Colin letting his team down, unable to get the all kill. Colin, you're pretty disappointing. That's all I have to say. But GMs BMs do have the moral victory because they didn't drag out their win. When Penguin had the win, he just killed Colin instead of sit back, macro get 200 versus 50 supply army. So
Yep.
I have to commend the GMs of BM for being not quite so BM.
So really, they shouldn't be commended. I mean, they should have been more BM.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
I
So
mean,
basically a letdown performance by both teams.
yeah.
Humanitarian campaign proving themselves to be BM and actually making more mines than their opponents
Yeah.
due to playing Terran.
Yeah, unfortunately, just a disappointing match for both sides. I hope we never see some games as bad as these.
Yep.
So I guess congratulations to Humanitarian Campaign because you guys technically won the series, but we all know nobody won.
I feel bad for everyone involved in this. Mostly, more than anyone else, anyone who is watching this stream.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
I'm really sorry, everyone. I think I'll have to, when I make the VOD in the description, I'll have to tell everyone never to watch this ever. Because...
Please.
And especially bad players, bad games, bad casters.
Oh yeah. And I am, of course, the worst.
Yeah.
So that title is taken. All right. Goodbye.
Bye. Congratulations to Humanitarian Campaign, I guess. Kind of.